You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. Go to our second story, another video that absolutely shocked many of us when we saw it. And that is white woman in Central Park calling the cops on a black man who was simply saying, he's there birding, he's bird watching. He's saying, can you put a leash on your dog? Which the signs say you should be doing. Watch Central Park Karen.
Would you please stop? Sir, I'm asking you to stop.
Please don't come close to me.
Sir, I'm asking you to stop recording me.
Please don't come close to me.
Please take your phone off.
Please don't come close to
And
me.
I'm taking pictures and calling the cops.
Please call the cops. Please call the cops.
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Please tell them whatever you like.
Excuse me? I'm sorry, I'm in the Ramble, and there is a man, African-American, he has a bicycle helmet. He is recording me and threatening me and my dog. There is an African-American man, I am in Central Park. He is recording me and threatening myself and my dog. And my... I'm sorry, I can't hear you either.
From the dog.
By a man in the Ramble. Please send the cops immediately. I'm in Central Park in the Ramble. I don't know.
Thank you.
Well, Amy Cooper is her name. Amy Cooper now doesn't have a job. Yes, she's been fired from her job with Franklin Templeton, where she was a vice president. They tweeted following, this is what they said, following our internal review of the incident in Central Park yesterday, we have made the decision to terminate the employee involved effective immediately. We do not tolerate racism of any kind at Franklin Templeton. Oh, by the way, the dog is also gone too. This is the statement that was released by the place where she got the dog. Pull it up, please. This is Abandoned Angels Cocker Spaniel Rescue, Inc. Thank you to the concerned public for reaching out to us about a video involving a dog that was adopted from our rescue a few years ago. As of this evening, the owner has voluntarily surrendered the dog in question to our rescue while this matter is being addressed. Our mission remains the health and safety of our rescue dogs. The dog is now in our rescue's care and he is safe and in good health. We will not be responding to any further inquiries about the situation, either publicly or privately. Thank you for your understanding. Keep in mind that they pulled the dog before she got fired. Now, she did release a statement apologizing. Y'all have that? Here we go, y'all. Watch this. This is lovely. I sincerely and humbly apologize to everyone, especially to that man, his family. She said in a phone call, this is with NBC. It was unacceptable, and I humbly and fully apologize to everyone who's seen that video, everyone that's been offended, everyone who thinks of me in a lower light, and I understand why they do. When I think about the police, I'm such a blessed person. I've come to realize, especially today, that I think of the police as a protection agency. And unfortunately, this has caused me to realize that there are so many people in this country that don't have that luxury. Now, here's what's interesting. Where did you see the apology to the brother in that video? In that statement. But I want to do something again. I want to play again the video. I want you to watch her actions. I want you to watch how she moved towards him and then how she quickly went to call the cops because the scary black man is here.
Would you please stop? Sir, I'm asking you to stop.
Please don't come close to me.
Sir, I'm asking you to stop recording me.
Please don't come close to me.
Please take your phone off.
Please don't come close to
And
me.
I'm taking pictures and calling the cops.
Please call the cops. Please call the cops.
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Please tell them whatever you like.
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life. Y'all, she knew exactly what she was saying because she knows as a white woman, Oh, if a black man is threatening the life of a white woman, oh, as Maxwell was saying, when the cops come knocking. Oh yeah, we see exactly what is going on here. Press play.
Excuse me? I'm sorry, I'm in the Ramble, and there is a man, African American, he has a bicycle helmet. He is recording me and threatening me and my dog. There is an African American man, I am in Central Park. He is recording me and threatening myself and my dog. And my... I'm sorry, I can't hear you either. I'm being threatened by a man in the
Right there.
Ramble. Please.
Pause right there. I'm in Central Park. There's an African-American man who's threatening me and my dog. She repeats it a second time. Now, all of a sudden, here's the distress. Now you see, oh my goodness, okay, the pain in my voice. And now you begin to hear her raise her voice. And now the whole deal is, please send help, come get this black man away from me. That phone call could have turned into a Gerald Floyd. Press play.
Send the cops immediately. I'm in Central Park in the Ramble. I don't know.
Thank you.
Now, interesting thing is that the man's name is Christian Cooper. Kelly, here's a problem that I have with all of this. If you read many reports, it was Christian Cooper, a Harvard-educated man. First of all, that has nothing to do with his story. If he went to Howard or FAMU or hell, anywhere else, Texas A&M, that would have never been a part of it. See, what happens, Kelly, is white folks somehow think going to Harvard inoculates Negroes from racism, when a Negro from Harvard can also be killed. And the thing is, black people who go to Harvard aren't walking around going, hi, Harvard Negro graduate. But that's how media sort of frame this. That means nothing. I don't care if he didn't go to college. What she did was evil and wrong and deserved to be fired.
Absolutely. I really don't like it when you have headlines like that. It's like Harvard grad or Yale grad or, enter, prestigious label here, as if that is something that, like you said, is supposed to insulate you from racism. First of all, obviously, even if that were the case, in this case, it actually was the case that he is a graduate, she doesn't see Harvard grad when she is scared and fearing for her life and calling the cops because she's not obeying a city ordinance order. She is looking at him as a black man who is infringing upon her caucasity, and her entitledness. She's not seeing the fact that he's a human being. She's not seeing any of that. She's just seeing something she's seeing something in her way such that it needs to be moved out of her way. And who better than to move something out of your way than the police, because we have a history in this country of police acquiescing to white women when it comes to the hindrances of black men. So again, it's just incredibly frustrating to me and incredibly infuriating to me that this is still going on. And it almost feels like there's been an uptick in it, so to speak, because we have these stay-at-home orders nationwide, as if, we are going to ignore the fact that racism still exists, or we are going to, it's like they're being sneaky with it. It feels like that, because you're staying at home, police aren't really going to pay attention to the fact that you're infringing on my rights as a human being. That's not going to be the case. People still have cell phones. People still have common sense. And unfortunately, there are still racists out there who have neither of those things. So this is going to continue. It's unfortunate, but it's going to continue. And thankfully, in this situation, he had the wherewithal to videotape himself. And, with her, it was just a matter. I thought of the Wizard of Oz of I'll get you my pretty and your little dog, too. That's exactly what happened with her. So good riddance.
Mustafa, again, when you see what is going on here, when you the desperate pleas of this white woman in distress, that's what she was doing. She knew exactly what she was doing because the cops come running when a white woman is in distress in America.
You know, this is a reoccurring story that we know throughout our history. All we have to do is say Emmett Till. And we know that the lie that was told that he whistled at a white woman got him literally murdered. We know that in that location, in Central Park, and the president played a role in this, and I know someone will probably have something to say about it, but that it's the Central Park Five went to jail because, you know, there were lies that were told, and they spent, 14, 15 years in prison because of the assumption that they did something without there being any proof. So we know that this is a reoccurring theme. And I think that it's time for us to actually make some punitive damages along with making sure that people spend some time when they do these types of things. And actually, we had a big discussion today on social media. Now, we know that there are those laws that are out there that if you make a false report to police, then it can be a misdemeanor and you can spend up to 6 months in jail. And also there could be criminal fines that are associated with that. We need to have a national law that when these people pick up the phone and they know that this is racially motivated, that they're trying to get the police engaged in a process that could be, literally take people's lives away, that there's a cost. One, they shouldn't be wasting the police's time. And two, they shouldn't be putting black men and other men of color or other people of color's lives in danger. And I think that if we start penalizing people when they make these false and misleading statements, that it will be one piece of the puzzle in helping to make change actually happen.
Melik, I don't give a damn about this white woman. I don't care about her tears. I don't care if she's lost her job. I don't care if she's lost her dog. The reality is, Amy Cooper, her actions could have led to the death of another black man. Remember what happened in that damn Walmart when somebody white called the cops in Ohio, and John Crawford III was in there on a cell phone, had an air gun, and that person told the cops this person was waving this armed gun in the store, and the cops came there with SWAT, busted in, yelled for him. Crawford turned this way. They fired. John Crawford is dead because some white person got scared.
This is not even John Crawford. We can actually bring up Tamir Rice. Remember, there was someone who called the police and said that there was a young man. Now, they described 12-year-old Tamir Rice as a young man, and he wasn't a young man at the age of 12. And when the police got there, of course, we know within 3 seconds, Tamir Rice was dead. So we've seen this thing time and time again. I totally agree with you when you were saying about the, characterizing this or focusing on where he went to school. It doesn't matter if he never went to college. I was pushing back. Some of my friends was like, and he was a Harvard graduate. And I was like, I don't care. I don't care what type of graduate he was. That didn't matter. Skip Lewis Gates was a Harvard professor. That meant nothing. It didn't stop him from being arrested, trying to get into his own home and have ultimately a beer summit later. I think that, she deserves everything that's coming to her, except, and this is where I don't agree that I don't push the notion that she should have been fired from her job. That was something that her company itself decided that they just could not risk, and she was a liability. So I think that the company was well within its right to fire her. I, myself, was not pushing for her to be fired. But I do think that there should be some type of, and I think, Mustafa's right. There are fines associated with filing false claims. Whether or not those things are actually prosecuted, I don't know. I know it was a similar thing that we saw in the Jussie Smollett case where he filed what seems to be definitely a false police report, but I don't think that anything actually happened to him from that. But the performance, the BET Arabesque film performance that this woman did with the screaming and all of that, it was so over the top, and she knew exactly what she was doing because she mentioned the fact that he was an African American because she wanted, you're talking about a dog whistle. This is exactly what that was. She knew exactly what she was doing. And like you said, she didn't bother to apologize in that statement. She could have just left the statement, but to not apologize to the man who was sitting there in front of you, whom you actually accused of trying to attack you. Now, I will say this last thing. I didn't actually hear the audio until just now because I saw the video. I was already disturbed, and I say this as a dog owner. I was already disturbed watching the video of her basically carrying this dog around with the leash around his neck. And then now that I'm hearing not just the back and forth between Amy and Christian, but I'm hearing the dog squealing itself. And I had to turn the volume down because I was like, oh yeah, that just took it off over the top for me. But they decided that she needed to be fired. Good for her. Maybe she'll think about it again the next time she makes such a claim.
Kelly, I don't give a damn. Her ass should have been fired. I keep telling all these white folks, if y'all keep showing yourselves, you keep getting fired. What needs to happen is black people should be lining up for your jobs. That's what should be happening. And so we have that segment, crazy ass white people. For people like her, these white folks are losing their minds by calling the cops on black people when it comes to just being in an Airbnb or selling some lemonade or having a barbecue or car is that much into the walkway. No, this is white entitlement where they can say, and I do not use the N-word, but this is essentially what they are saying. Nigga, I'm about to put you in check by calling the cops on you. That's what they are doing.
No, that's exactly what they were doing. I disagree with Melik in the fact that these people, these perpetrators, should not be losing their jobs. And here's why. Even if the job is not necessarily client-facing, and I've said this on your show before, if you have a client-facing job and you have racial bias, you shouldn't be in that job. And I stand by that statement. However, if you do not have a job like that where you are not client-facing, but you do something like this, now you are client-facing because this person, I can't even remember her actual name.
Amy Cooper.
Amy. What Amy just did was actually put not only herself, but everything that she represents in the spotlight. So if people see your face and they associate you with that company, guess what? People can boycott that company because she's still there. People will, try and sabotage that company because she's still there. That business will lose money, will lose its standing in the world because she's still there. And there are clauses. I don't know what it was about her contract, but there are moral clauses in a lot of people's contracts such that you shouldn't be doing basically dumb stuff such as this, so long as you are employed with this particular company. And the minute that you breach that is when you get fired. So again, I don't know what was in her contract, but even still, what she did rose to the level of such egregiousness that she did deserve to get fired because that made her a liability to that company.
Mustafa, the thing here is here, okay? And if a person acts this way, we don't know what you might do in the office. We don't know when it comes to hiring. We don't know when it comes to other clients. And I'm telling you, here's what I keep trying to explain to people, which is why this show matters, because you're not going to have this dialogue on these other networks. White people, not all of them, but there are white people in this country who are absolutely scared to death of 2043, of this nation becoming a nation majority, people of color. And you have these folks who are freaking out, who are going to call the cops at the drop of a hat, who are going to sit here and, again, put in our place because there is fear. There is fear. And I'm sorry, I'm not giving an inch to any of these people, Mustafa. None of them. I want every single one of them to lose their jobs. I want them to be embarrassed. I want them to lose their livelihood because their white tears and fears are literally putting black people's lives on the line.
Racism has cost people of color, particularly African Americans, their lives, their livelihood, and a number of other aspects for hundreds of years now. So it's time that racism also costs those who are perpetuating it on others. And that's the way I feel about it.
Also, right now, folks, I want to talk about a black-owned company. Remember we had Mary Spio on the show with Ceek.com, Ceek.com. folks, is a sister. She's from Ghana. She created her own technology company. She actually is created her own headphones. These are 360-degree 4D headphones. Go ahead, y'all. You can show the slideshow right now of these various headphones. Again, she's African. She's from African woman. Folks, these are amazing, amazing headphones. They sound great. And here's the piece. You can actually get these with a discount. Our members, the people who watch this show, you get to actually get these. Black-owned company. Go ahead and show the code, please. Use this code, RMVIP2020. If you want to buy these headphones, also their VR, a virtual reality headset. So the company is Ceek.com. And again, we support black businesses. They're African Americans who are doing amazing things in technology. And that's why we support the folks at Ceek.com. Ceek.com, Ceek.com, where you can actually get these headphones. And so y'all have it. And so please use the code RMVIP2020, RMVIP2020, and proceeds of when you purchase these headphones comes back to the show. And so that's how we do it. We support a black business. That black business is reinvesting in Roland Martin Unfiltered so we can do what we do.